53233. All right, the court's been asked to grant a guardian for Douglas Dennis. May I have the names of our participants beginning in the courtroom?
Michael McFarland, attorney, guardian ad litem.
All right, Mr. Joseph Dennis, would you like to introduce yourself, please? Oh, you'll have to unmute on your end.
Were you referring to me, Your Honor, or can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm
Okay.
trying to work with our petitioner, Mr. Dennis.
Okay.
I'm having a little trouble unmuting. We know he can hear us, which is good. All right, so why don't we have you introduce yourself, sir, and Mr. Douglas Dennis, while we're waiting for Mr. Joseph Dennis to troubleshoot there.
My name is Jacob Scott. I am a social worker at Spring Creek Nursing Home. And can you tell them your name?
My name is Douglas Dennis.
Thank you. Okay. What we could do, Mr. Dennis, is simply listen, and then if you need to, we can try to have you log out and log back in. But let's go to Mr. McFarland. What are your findings on this case?
Your Honor, I have submitted a guardian ad litem report. I did have an opportunity to speak to Joseph Dennis. There's nothing objectionable in his history. There was a prior durable power of attorney, but that was held by Douglas's father, who's now deceased, Your Honor. Douglas has no objection. I don't think well, at least he did not, when I spoke to him, understand the medical issues he's facing, but had no objection to his brother, in simple terms, helping him out and making decisions, Your Honor. And based upon the medical report, which is attached, and speaking to his brother and to Douglas, I believe that the petition should be granted.
Thank you. Did you wish to take any testimony from Douglas Dennis or Joseph Dennis today?
Your Honor, I do not. In speaking with Douglas, he indicated he did not wish to have an attorney, and I found nothing objectionable with Joseph, Your Honor. So in this situation, I would not at the court would take me at my word.
Well, you are an officer of the court tasked with investigations, performing those obligations many times, and so I certainly have no reason to think that you have not satisfied your obligations today. All right, Mr. Jacob Scott over at Spring Creek, would you ask Douglas if he wishes to say anything today?
Would you like to say anything to the courts today? No? Okay.
All right. Well, Mr. Joseph Dennis, would you raise your hand if you can hear us? Very good. Thank you. All right. I'm prepared to make the findings. It does appear that the file is in order, and I would be able to grant the request as filed. But if you wish to participate and you want to log back out and log back in so that you can contribute any comments, go ahead and let me know with a thumbs up or a thumbs down. You're okay? You're okay. All right. So for the record, he said, I'm okay. Meaning, I'm going to take that as meaning you'd like me to just make the decision. Yes, thumbs up. Great. All right. Well, the court finds all interested parties were given notice for purposes of today's hearing. I've received no written objections. No one has appeared in person or by Zoom to object. I have reviewed the file and, of course, listened to Mr. McFarland's comments and read the guardian ad litem report in this case. And I do find that there is clear and convincing evidence that Douglas Dennis is an incapacitated person as the law defines it. He, of course, comes to us from Spring Creek, which is a specialized care home to assist him in meeting his activities of daily living. I also have the reported physician or mental health professional executed by, it looks like Dr. Jennifer, maybe Gray, out of Livonia, indicating as a physician with a specialty of internal medicine This doctor was able to identify the diagnoses for Douglas to include dementia, anxiety, DM, MDP, and impulse disorder. Further comments include the infirmities interfere in the following ways with Douglas's ability to receive or evaluate information and making decisions, inability to make informed decisions regarding medical. There are medications prescribed to Douglas to help alleviate the symptoms associated with his diagnoses. Nevertheless, the findings of the doctor include that Douglas is unable to presently make informed decisions in the areas of determining where to live, consenting to supportive services, handling personal financial affairs, or authorizing or refusing medical treatment. This is a case where that clear and convincing evidence also indicates that a full guardian is necessary rather than a limited guardian. Douglas clearly needs help accomplishing his activities of daily living. His diagnoses would interfere with his ability to make his own decisions in many contexts, including keeping himself safe, legally, physically. So for all those reasons, it is the order of the court, the petition for appointment of guardian was granted. Joseph Edwin Dennis Jr. is appointed full guardian for Douglas Dennis. He has already filed his acceptance of appointment, indicating that legally he understands his obligations. I believe he has already been engaged in contacting and communicating with Douglas as well. We heard from him just briefly. We had to reconvene on this case. So I haven't seen him before. Nice to see you again, sir. I have granted your petition, as well as signed the letters of guardianship, giving you the authority you need to meet your obligations as guardian. Unless there's any questions, that's all for today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Nice meeting you, Dennis. That's all for today.